Hello and welcome to the first Tailgater episode of the year. I am Bradley Davis, joined alongside me, Marcus Thomas, and we are excited. We are in exciting times right now. The MLB playoffs are finally upon us.
That's right, Bradley. We love October here at Tailgaters, and we will be sure to get to that, but first, let's talk NFL. One of the biggest headlines from around the league is Melvin Gordon is finally back for the Chargers, ending his holdout. He's going to be looking to return this week when the Chargers face off against the Denver Broncos. Bradley, what should we expect in his comeback?
I wouldn't expect a whole lot in his first game back. Austin Eckler's been performing very strongly this season, and I know you saw Ezekiel Elliott had a decent first game in his after his holdout, but he was still looked a little rough around the edges. And with Gordon, it's been an even longer extended of a holdout. So he hasn't been. I'm sure he's been practicing, but he hasn't been practicing with the team, and that's going to hurt him. He's just going to be kind of gassed out there. I feel like they'll probably start him in slow. Second quarter, he'll probably get a good amount of touches. But then by the fourth quarter, I feel like it's going to be Austin Eckler all the way.
I don't think they're going to use him too often early, and they're going to have him on a pitch count. But Chargers are 2-2 right now. He's definitely going to be able to provide a big spark for them going forward.
Yeah, I agree. I feel like there also might be a little bit of saltiness in the coaching staff as well. They might just hold him out just a little bit at the beginning, just like, dude, come on, coming in mid-season, we wanted you if we had you our first 4 games, maybe we'd be 3-1, 4-0, who knows. So I feel like that'll hold him back a little bit, especially with Eckler being so good in the first 4 games of the young season. And big news out in New England with the Patriots kicker Steven Gostkowski out for the rest of the season. I mean, we don't normally talk about kickers, but Marcus, how do you think this will affect them going forward?
It's the Patriots. They're probably going to be just fine. If he's still out by playoffs, it'll probably hurt them a little bit, but for now, it's Patriots.
If he's out for the playoffs, I feel like it'll hurt him more than people realize. People forget how important a kicker is. I mean, just ask the Minnesota Vikings or Chicago Bears. Come on now. They've been screwed by kickers more times than we can count. Was it Blair Walsh missed the 28-yarder to win? And obviously, we all remember last year off the post. So kickers can be incredibly important unless New England is blowing teams out every game, which, I mean, it could happen. They've looked good so far, but New England's staple has been to win those close games, to come out no matter what. And part of that staple has been Steven Gostkowski being able to hit 50-yard field goals like it's nothing. So I think it could potentially hurt them in the playoffs. They might even cost them a Super Bowl.
Bradley, what are your thoughts on the new QB down in Jacksonville, Gardner Minshew?
Minshew Mania. It's real. I don't know if you watched that Denver game, but that when they were in the red zone, toe tapping around, it was insane. I felt bad for all my Denver fans out there. I don't know if you saw, they're actually working it into their promo. It's called the Minshew Mania Pass, where they're giving you, I believe it's a fake mustache, and then you get a picture with your mustache and bandana, don't forget the bandana, on the field. So Jacksonville is capitalizing on Minshew Mania. Who knows, maybe Nick Foles getting hurt was the best thing for their franchise.
Yeah, Nick Foles went out week 1 with the collarbone, and Minshew showed up, went 22 for 25 passing with 2 DDs, and then week 2 got off the plane in that stellar outfit and just landed right in America's hearts.
I like that. Well, we will be right back to talk some postseason brackets with fellow staffer Lexi Simmons. We'll be right back. Welcome back to the show, as we are now joined by MUTV staffer Lexi Simmons. Lexi, thanks for being on the show.
Thanks for having me. This postseason is definitely one to look forward to, considering the fact that 4 of the 6 playoff teams brought in that 100-game winning record during this regular season this year. The Astros, Dodgers, Yankees, and Twins hope to carry this winning momentum into their first game of the playoffs, which happens to start tonight in Atlanta.
Right on.
After the wildcard games earlier this week, the NL Divisional Series opens up with the St. Louis Cardinals and Atlanta Braves.
The other half of the NLDS has the LA Dodgers facing the Washington Nationals. Who advances in these matchups?
I think in the Braves-Cardinals matchup, Atlanta is just filled with young talent. In the field, on the pitching staff, just so many young players. And the Cardinals, always right up there. But I think Atlanta and the young talent's going to be able to beat them. Braves in 4 games.
Yeah, I'd have to go with you on that one. They tend to dominate late in the game. This regular season, they had 308 runs and 94 home runs after the 7th inning. So I think that'll take the cake for them.
So you're going with the sweep. Man, classic Cubs fan, I guess. So I have learned my lesson from doubting the Cardinals. 2011 Rangers versus Cardinals didn't go quite as planned. But it's been another one of those seasons for the Cardinals, I'd say. Once the Chicago made all those moves at the trade deadline, everyone pretty much counted the Cardinals out. They're like, they're not going to be able to hold on. They just had one of those Cardinals seasons that they've had about 5 of them in the last 10 years where they come in, not high expectations, get the wild card, and then just go deeper in the playoffs than anyone expects. And it doesn't make any sense to me, even when their talent doesn't seem to match up to the competition. They just always seem to pull through in October. That's why I think they're up to 12 World Series now. That's why they're second to only the Yankees. So I feel like they're going to get this one against the Braves. I'm going Cardinals in 7.
With the Nationals-Dodgers matchup, the Dodgers are looking to change their fortunes after losing the World Series last year, and the Nats just seem primed to upset them with Juan Soto, Mizzou made Max Scherzer, and Steven Strasburg. I think they will have to outplay Cody Bellinger, Clayton Kershaw, and Ryu to win, and I think they do that. Nationals in 5.
I'm going to have to disagree with you on that one. I actually have LA advancing just with their offensive lead with Cody Bellinger and Max Muncy. I just think it's unbeatable.
Yeah, that being said, Nationals have been so strong, winning their last 9 straight games, outscoring opponents 58-27. Dodgers going to win anyways. Come on. Their talent's too strong. They're first in the league in overall ERA at 3.39, scoring almost 5.5 runs per game. And, in today's day and age with all the home runs, to still only be giving up about 3.4 runs per game, that's ridiculous. And obviously Cody Bellinger, probably the MVP since with the injuries. So I'm going Dodgers.
I'm still going Nats. On the other half of the league, we got the matchup between the upstart Minnesota Twins and the perennial playoff power, the New York Yankees. Who do you guys like to advance?
Go ahead and take this one.
Yeah, although the Yankees aren't necessarily my favorite, I have them taking the cake as well, just because even though they had that injury-filled season, they're still maintaining their place in the league and showing that they're right where they're supposed to be. So.
Yeah, the Twins had a historic year this year, hitting 307 homers as a team. I think the Twins could have the potential for an upset if the rotation and bullpen can limit the Yankees' offense, but I don't think they can do that. Yankees in 4.
Wow, another sweep. You're all about the sweeps in this playoffs, Marcus. That's interesting. So I'm really excited for this series. Probably my most looking forward to division round series. 613 total home runs between these two teams. It's going to be a slugfest. I just again, with the Cardinals, I like history. I like the Yankees' history. Twins, I remember they made it back in, 2008, I believe. So it's been a long time for them. It's been a while for the Yankees too, but I feel like it's overdue, obviously, with being first in the entire league in championships. And you can't argue with this lineup: DJ LeMahieu, Aaron Judge, Giancarlo Stanton, Gleyber Torres. You just can't argue with that. It's just too strong. Not saying that the Twins are a fluke. They're definitely not. They're just having a tough matchup here in the division round. The next matchup in the ALDS is between Tampa Bay Rays and the Houston Astros. Who y'all got in this one?
I think this series will actually be closer than most people expecting. The Rays, excellent pitching. They'd have to scrap by a couple runs here and there with their offense, but the Astros are just the most complete team in this postseason right now. Astros in 4.
Agree. Dang, another sweep. Was that 3? We need to get a
3 in a
sweep counter
row.
for Marcus. Dang, that's some hot takes.
Yeah, I'm also going to have to agree with you on this one, Marcus. They got those 3 frontline starts with Justin Verlander, Garrett Cole, and Zach Greinke. So I think that does it for them right there. Gets them going on the defensive side. But yeah, Astros for sure.
Yeah, I'm also taking the Astros in this one. I want the Rays. I'm just pulling for small market teams, man. I always pull for the small markets. I believe they're definitely in the bottom 5. They might be last. I looked it up.
Yeah,
they're last. They're last. It would be
wild card.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, no, smallest market.
Yeah.
Payroll.
It's
They have the
payroll-wise.
smallest payroll, $53 million.
Yeah, and I think if I if I'm correct, the average payroll is well over like 150, and they're sitting at like less than a third of that. And so it would be so cool to see a team like that come out. Houston's pitching, though, what else can you say? It's the best we've seen in a really long time. How they've been able to limit hitters, and whenever this has been the highest league-wide ERA that we've ever seen, and they've still had 3 starters at 3 or under at ERA. It's just ridiculous.
So who do you guys have in the ALCS?
Well, so I have, in my bracket, I have the Astros and I have the Yankees. And I went back and forth with this one a lot. I initially chose the Yankees. I really like their lineup. It's one of the best lineups I've seen since watching baseball. But I like to take pitching over hitting when I'm looking at playoffs. In Houston's lineup, I mean, they have 3 aces. Like, there's no other way to look at it. They have 3 aces. So you throw them out there, that's – if 2 of those 3 guys get the win, that's like – and then the rest of their lineup is – the back end of their lineup is way stronger than the Yankees. I think the Yankees have 1 guy under 4 as an ERA, and I just don't see them being able to score enough runs on Houston.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. Their pitching is just too deep and too dominant just to get overplayed here. But they also finished with Major League's best record this season. So with those kind of numbers, it's kind of hard to turn the other cheek. So I'm right there.
Yeah, the Yankees relied too much on their high-powered offense. But with the Astros star-studded rotation, I don't expect many bombs from the Bronx Bouters. Astros in 5.
All right. Man, a bunch of short series. Do you have any series going to 7?
Yeah.
Yeah? All right, we're getting to them. World
7.
Series? All right, we're getting to that. All right, next we'll go to the NLDS. Who you got?
I have Washington Nationals matchup. Washington versus Braves matchup. Braves beat them for the NL East division. They beat them again in the series. Braves in 6.
Who you got, Lexi?
I got the Dodgers taking it. Yeah, I don't have the Nationals in the game, but I have the Dodgers going all the way to the World Series. So.
Yeah, I don't have the Nationals either. I have the Dodgers and Cardinals. Like I said before, St. Louis seems to be able to take themselves far against the odds. I don't think there's enough of that to take them past the Dodgers. I think it'll get them past the Braves. Dodgers too strong. I have them going to the World Series for the 3rd straight year.
Who do you guys have in the World Series then?
Well, I know the rematch may be a tad bit boring, but I got the Astros and the Dodgers in the World Series. I have it in 7 games. I think it'll be a really good matchup. But at the end of the day, I think the Astros are favored to win a 2nd championship in 3 years.
Yeah, I also have the Astros beating the Dodgers for the 2nd straight year, making the Dodgers a dynasty that never was. Not that that's particularly what I want to see. I don't know what I want to see. I just want to see a good series, but it'll definitely be an amazing storyline if that's something that goes down. It'll be something that'll be remembered for years. If that's something that we might finally get a moment that compares to the 2011 World Series, so that I won't be alone as a native Texan. I'll be able to relate with those Dodgers fans, but I just don't. I just feel like the Astros have gotten stronger since last year, and I feel like the Dodgers are in the same spot, and so I just have them taking it all 2nd straight year.
The Astros are easily the most complete team in this postseason, and they've done it all season. Most complete team. The Braves trending upwards. They look like they're going to be contenders for years down the line. I think they luck this one out and win it. Braves in 7. Ronald Acuna Jr. wins MVP.
All right. Well, that'll wrap up our show tonight. Thank you for coming outdoors with us, and we'll see you next time. Have a good night.